Good afternoon. It is Friday, October 27th, 2017, 1:40 p.m. It's a good day, especially if you're Jeff Bezos. Once again, he reclaimed his title as the world's richest man, right? He overtook Bill Gates again with the blowout number from Amazon. He added about $7 billion to his net worth, bringing his total up to $90 billion. Incredible. People look at those numbers and, can't even fathom them. $90 billion. Back in July 29th, as a matter of fact, I sent an email to a couple of friends of mine. July 29, 2017, I believe it was. Yes. On Thursday afternoon, for a brief few hours, Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, became the world's richest person, overtaking Bill Gates, when his net worth was estimated at $92 billion, thanks to an increase in his Amazon stock. After Amazon stock went down by the next day, he was back in the number 2 slot, having lost about $6 billion of his wealth. No American has ever accumulated a net worth more than $100 billion. But it looks like Bezos is poised to do it. If not today, then certainly in the months and years to come. However, to keep things in perspective, it is interesting to note that the estimated net worth of the 3 richest Americans of all time far surpassed Jeff Bezos, I wrote. John D. Rockefeller had an estimated net worth in today's dollar of $392 billion. He dropped out of school at 16 and went to work. Andrew Carnegie had an estimated net worth of $310 billion in today's dollars. He started working at age 13 in a cotton mill. Cornelius Vanderbilt had an estimated net worth of $110 billion in today's terms. Staten Island's very own, he quit school at 11 and by 16 had his own ferry service. It is also interesting to note that all 3 men accumulated vast sums of money with little or no formal education, dropped out of school in their early teens, which would be illegal today, and started businesses before legal working age, and all were born before World War II. So when you compare Jeff Bezos' $90 billion to those 3 men and what they have in common, little or no formal education, dropped out of school, started businesses at 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, and what they accomplished, okay, and it was all done before World War II. It speaks volumes, people. It really speaks volumes. It's another update on Wall Street. NASDAQ is going through the roof, right? It's up 2% today. Dow is doing up a little. S&P is up a little. Gold is hanging in there. Last time I checked, gold was up about $4. Let me refresh my screen. Let's see. It's up 420, 1270. Continues to be in this range right here. It's really not doing a whole lot of anything. Silver is down 1673. It looks like silver is really struggling to get back to that 17 handle. Okay, now it's 1673. Doesn't look good. If you bought silver, you were decimated. You were absolutely crushed if you bought silver. The world's worst investment. I mean, if you, and most people, they didn't understand what they were doing. Okay, I said many times, invest in what you know. A lot of people that got into this gold and silver market at the end, they didn't know why. They saw it was going up, okay? They got in, they didn't understand gold and silver, and they were crushed, okay? Think about it. Somebody in their 50s or 60s, they got slaughtered in 2008, right? Their retirement money was decimated. They had some money scraped together. They heard all these stories about how gold and silver will protect you against, a fiat and currency debasement. And it all sounded great. And they believed the sales pitch. And they took what little money they had left and they handed it over, thinking gold would at least preserve what they have. And they were crushed. People, this was the biggest pump and dump scam, okay, of all time. One of the biggest pump and dumps. They pumped it and they pumped it and they pumped it, and then they took it all away, right? They took all the chips. They cleared the table. You got to remember who you're playing against. They want all the chips. They're not satisfied if they leave you with one chip. If they have a big pile of chips, they want it all, and that's what they did. I got a call from my stockbroker. Guess it was around 2010 when silver started to make waves and it was going up. It had hit 25, 30, 35, right? Now, up until then, this stockbroker did her level best to keep me out of gold and silver, and she didn't really even know about silver. She knew I had gold. She didn't know I had silver. Okay. This was the one I told you about when gold went from like 700 down to 500, right? She called me up to console me, and I said, "Don't worry. This bull market has a long, long, long way to go," and it did. See, I had confidence then in gold and silver because I knew we were in a bull market. Now we're not. Now we're in a brutal bear market, okay? Despite what people want to keep telling you, these carnival barkers, okay? But as silver was starting to make waves, all of a sudden, I got a phone call to get me into silver, like an ETF, because it's an industrial metal. Like, I didn't know that, okay? So it brings up an interesting point. See, back then, nobody wanted to have anything to do with it, right? Then when it goes up, all of a sudden, they discover the merits of it, right? Now, all of a sudden, light bulbs go off. Oh, it's an industrial metal. Whoa. You use it for all these different things. I said, I got plenty of silver, don't worry. I don't need any more, all right? Went all the way up to almost 50. Now look where we are. Now I have to hold on. I told you I'll go down with the ship because there'll come a day when the cycle turns. I don't know when it is. It's all just a cycle. That's all it is. Doesn't matter what the asset is. It goes up and it goes down. And when people get stupid for gold and silver again, that's when I'll get out. That's basically what it comes down to. When people get stupid for gold and silver again, that's when you got to get out. All right? I wrote this April. This is another thing I wrote. April 14th, 2014. April 19th, 2014. The fundamental bear case for silver. For centuries now, silver has served as a medium of exchange, a store of wealth, an industrial instrument, a household utensil, and an ornamental heirloom. Yet as we speak, an ounce of silver hovers slightly above $21 an ounce. The price would hardly indicate that this precious metal is indeed rare, unique, sought after, or indispensable. And yet, that is what we are supposed to believe. I think not. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. The new siren call for silver, like the boardwalk carnival barkers, is the fabulous wealth opportunity silver has to offer for those savvy investors who have the patience to wait and the ability to see way into the future. Rubbish, I say. We are to believe that all these technological and industrial uses for silver will someday make it indispensable and by correlation outrageously expensive. Hogwash, I say. The nature of economics, business, and technology in particular has always been to find a better way, a more practical way, a more efficient way, a more economical way. This always has been and always will be. Like the dinosaurs, new business models spring up, old ones die a natural death. It is survival of the fittest, and this is how it should be. Right now, digital content management, 3D printing, nanotechnology are a few of the latest technological innovations that are creating paradigm shifts in the way we process, distribute, and organize content, how we manufacture, how we develop medical procedures, point of sale, identity security, and on it goes. Whenever there is a challenge, technology finds a solution. Cheaper, faster, smaller. This will never change. And so we are to believe that businesses, industries, governments will become increasingly more dependent on a metal that is becoming more and more rarer and more expensive. Never in 1,000 years. And funny, that's almost as long as it's been. Technology will find a way, new approaches will be taken, synthetic chemicals will be tried, new business models will be entertained. Substances not even yet discovered will replace older materials. This is the track record of history. It will not change. Does anyone really think if we need silver that badly, businesses and governments will let the price increase substantially? Again, no. They will keep it down. They will keep it affordable. This is only logical. I would also add anyone who's predicting what the future holds 10, 20, 30 years out is rather foolish. And anyone advocating holding on to silver that long, waiting for some payout, is altogether mad. Just look backwards 30 years from today. It wasn't all that long ago. Did you expect to see cars that drive themselves? Did you expect to see storage capacity that can hold a city's worth of data in something no bigger than a grain of rice? Did you expect to see content from the entire globe delivered to your computer in the time it takes to say Google? To think that 20 years from now will not be radically different from what we are living in today is folly. Innovations, devices, platforms we can't even dream of today will become commonplace. To think that somehow silver will play a part in this is incredible. Can silver play a role as a monetary metal? Absolutely. It can serve in this capacity. But again, the price will always be encumbered by government, business, industry. To sum it up, if you like silver, hold silver, enjoy silver for all its forms. But to wait decades for some expected payout is not the best use of one's time or capital. We do not have decades. We are not going to live forever. Life is too short. I, for one, regret more and more each day I didn't sell out at 48. I even wish I had sold out at 40. Even 30 is looking good. Did I lose anything? Not monetarily. No, but time is money. Everyone needs to do what they feel is right, but I hope this gives you another perspective. I wrote that April 19, 2014, when silver was about $21. Now it's got a 16 handle. Okay? You do what you want with it, people. You do what you want with it. Okay? Looks like this Jerome Powell is getting more and more attention as the new Fed chair, which is just status quo. It's just more of the same. He's got the pedigree, right? He's just a banker. It's more of the same. It's no different. Just a different suit. That's all. So that's about it. We'll see what happens. Other than that, that's it. We'll see. It's a beautiful day out there. My advice, get out, enjoy the weather, enjoy the time of the season. Have a good weekend. Ciao.